Thank you all for tuning in today. Today we're going to be making breakfast. So you want to get your bowl out, have all your ingredients ready, and then you grab your box of cereal, you pour that in the bowl, your milk, and I like to have toast on the side. Do you like toast? Yeah, so you stick that in this thing and you press the button down, and when it's ready, make sure you put the butter on right away. And you grab your favorite spoon and you dig in and enjoy. So some kids had an imaginary friend. I had this imaginary cooking show, and no matter how simple the recipe, I was narrating whatever it was I was doing in the kitchen and connecting with my imaginary audience. So it's no wonder that when in the spring of 2020, I found myself with an abundance of free time, I was feeling a little sad, a little bored and lonely, that I turned to the kitchen for inspiration and connection. So I remember this cookie recipe, chocolate chip cookies, that I made a lot over the years, and so I made some for myself just to feel better, I guess. And soon I was having 2 to 4 freshly baked cookies a night, for most of the time. And I'm spreading the love, to my family and friends, and some suggested, you should really consider selling these. So I'm mulling that over, and one day I get a call mid-workday from my grandma. So I'm a little worried because she doesn't normally call me in the middle of the day. I'm like, hey, is everything all right? She's like, yeah, no worries. I just needed to tell you something. I want these cookies next to me at all times. And I was like, all right, that feels like her blessing, and it felt like the push I needed to get started. So with that, Cole Cookie Company was born. I posted my first official Instagram post about cookies on July 4th, 2020, and the process began. Orders started rolling in, 5 orders a week, 10 orders, 12. And soon this thing grew to something that I never imagined when I first started. So I knew I'd be baking cookies, but soon I'm reconnecting with Haas classmates that I haven't seen in the 2 years since graduation. I have old high school friends reaching out that I haven't spoken to in ages. And I had no idea that it was going to grow into this. I had complete strangers showing up to my door to pick up their cookie orders. One of the most meaningful things that I was able to do, though, was lead a holiday donation drive where people from all over, because I was doing it locally, people were from across the country like, can I do something? And I got this idea to deliver cookies on people's behalf to essential workers at the time. So healthcare providers and community leaders who were providing care on the front lines to our community during the pandemic. So this was all unexpected, to be connecting with such a broad community in this way. And I was on a high from all of it. I was like, this is so cool. I didn't know that this idea that I had would grow into something like this. So I'm out one day on deliveries, and I'm in San Francisco on this hill looking down over downtown, and I'm knocking on the door of an old friend that I haven't seen in a while. And so he opens the door, I hand over the order, and he says, thank you, we make a little bit of small talk. And then he goes, so you're doing cookies now. You just forget about that whole MBA thing. I was like, that's a bit harsh. But, it really sat with me. I felt a knot in my stomach because I felt a little embarrassed, really misunderstood, right? I'm like, this guy has no idea why I'm doing this. And I'm not doing this to add something to my resume. But it stung a little. It stung enough that I was kind of considering, is what I'm doing, is it silly? Does this mean that all that hard work and that MBA I got is going to waste? So I knew that I needed to regroup and reconnect with why I started this in the first place and, my why. So I did what any good MBA would do, and I reached out to my network. I sat down with a dear friend, fellow Haasie and branding expert, who volunteered to take me through a workshop on my why and my core values for this brand I was building. And emblazoned on one of the slides was the question, is it about cookies or is it about comforts? And that really stuck with me. It kind of hit me because I was like, so clear in my gut immediately that this was never about cookies. And And it was certainly not about me aspiring to be the owner of some like nationwide chain of artisanal bakeries. It was about finding joy and connection in a period of widespread isolation and fear. It was born out of my imagination, and it taught me so much. It taught me that I could create something beautiful out of practically nothing. It taught me that I could find something that brings me joy and then in turn spread that joy to so many others. And it taught me the importance of remaining grounded in my why, especially when, this thing I'm feeling called to do, or you all are feeling called to do, doesn't make sense to others, when you're at the risk of looking silly, when it might not be deemed impressive or successful in the traditional sense. It only needs to feel right and true for you. So while Cold Cookie Company is no more, at least it's indefinitely on hold, it taught me so much, and its lessons remain with me. So it gave me the courage to continue to follow my why, and a few years ago, I took the leap to become a certified professional coach. And in my work with clients, I'm focused on helping them gain a deeper connection to their why and align their lives and careers with their own individual definitions of success. So I'm excited to see where this journey takes me next as I continue my journey in entrepreneurship. And I'm just so grateful for these lessons from Cold Cookie Company that I'm taking with me along the way. Thank you.